All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into some really startling reports about an ultimatum between two major powers. And what we're looking at here, based on the source material, isn't just the threat of war. No, it's about potentially wiping an entire civilization off the map, a move that could send shockwaves, right across the entire planet. Okay, let's just jump right in with what is probably the most chilling line from the source material. This quote, supposedly from a former US president, just lays it all out. We're not talking about a simple military strike here. According to these reports, the threat is the complete eradication of a civilization. Just think about that.
And to put a real number on that word civilization, we're talking about roughly 90 million people. That's the population of Iran, the nation right at the center of all this. So, according to these reports, that's 90 million lives just hanging in the balance.
So you gotta ask, how on earth did we get to this point? Let's really break down the specific ultimatum that, according to everything we're seeing in the source material, has brought the world to this incredibly dangerous edge.
Okay, so this timeline really shows you just how fast everything is escalating. The source says that after, a brief extension was requested, a final, non-negotiable deadline has been set, and the consequence for missing it? A 4-hour military blitz that's reportedly designed for, get this, complete demolition.
Now, here's what's really striking about this whole ultimatum, the supposed target list. According to these reports, this isn't about hitting, a few military bases. No, this is about systematically taking apart the very core infrastructure of a modern country.
Yeah, the source alleges a plan to dismantle the absolute foundations of modern life. We're talking power grids, transportation networks, the essential stuff that 90 million people rely on just to survive day to day. It's a different kind of warfare.
And here it is, the stated goal in the bluntest terms you can imagine. A direct quote from the source material. The objective isn't just to win a battle, it's to literally send an entire nation back to the Stone Age.
So what do you do? How does a whole nation respond to a threat like that? Well, according to the source, Iran's answer is just as dramatic as the ultimatum itself. Instead of, mass evacuations, the reports are describing a mass mobilization, but of a very, very different kind.
Get a load of this number. Over 14 million. That's how many Iranian citizens have reportedly registered to sacrifice their own lives to defend their country. I mean, it's just a staggering figure. 14 million people signing up for what's being called martyrdom.
And this isn't just some chaotic protest. No. According to the source, it's a coordinated civilian defense plan. The whole strategy is to put unarmed citizens, people, directly in the line of fire at all those targeted sites. And at the same time, you have these acts of pure defiance, like students holding classes in bombed-out buildings, just to signal their resilience.
And this really gets to the core of their defiance. It's a message they're reportedly sending to the whole world. It's basically a direct challenge saying, hey, if you want to hit these targets, you're going to have to commit a public massacre of unarmed men, women, and children to do it, and the world will be watching.
Okay, so this brings us to a really crucial point. This isn't just about a regional conflict. The sources we're looking at are warning of absolutely catastrophic global consequences, a kind of fallout that could fundamentally reshape the world order, and cripple the global economy.
And this quote right here from a former American official who reportedly resigned in protest, it just perfectly captures that potential blowback. The argument being made is that the real danger here isn't just to Iran, but to America's own standing on the world stage.
So, what the source is suggesting is that the very pillars holding up the current world order, they're at risk of completely collapsing. An attack like this could shatter America's geopolitical standing, it could trigger total economic chaos, and it could force other nations to pick new sides, basically redrawing the entire global map.
And here's a clearer breakdown of that potential fallout. You've got analysts in the source material warning that the U.S. could actually lose its superpower status. They're predicting a global recession and, this is key, a power vacuum that rivals like Russia and China might feel they have to fill. And that would create a much, much more volatile world for all of us.
But here's the thing. Iran isn't just sitting back and playing defense. The source reports that they've prepped their own counteroffensive. And it's not aimed at military targets, but at economic ones. The plan is to hit critical data centers and energy infrastructure that are linked to the U.S., all to inflict maximum financial pain and seriously disrupt the global economy.
So what's the big takeaway here? It's a situation that is just spiraling completely out of control. Dialogue has reportedly stopped. Both sides are now apparently getting ready for a level of destruction that would inevitably spill way beyond their borders.
impacting global trade, technology, and security for literally everyone.
So we'll just leave you with this question. If this source material is accurate, we could be just hours away from an absolute catastrophe. And it really forces us to ask, in a world that is so interconnected, at what point does one nation's conflict become everybody's responsibility?